Imagine a world where armies are no longer made up of soldiers, but of swarms of autonomous robots, intelligent drones, and AI-driven systems capable of making real-time decisions without human intervention. This isn't a sci-fi movie plot, it's the future that's already being built behind the scenes by the world's superpowers. Tech giants, governments, and even rogue nations are racing to dominate AI, not just for innovation, but for geopolitical and military control. What's at stake isn't just money or technology, it's the power to shape the future of humanity. And the scariest part? This race could lead to an entirely new type of war, one unlike anything we've ever seen. Stay with me until the end, and you'll understand exactly how these pieces fit together and why we're closer than ever to an AI-driven conflict. The race for AGI, Artificial General Intelligence. It all starts with one massive ambition, the pursuit of AGI, Artificial General Intelligence, essentially an AI capable of doing everything a human can do, but even better. Companies like OpenAI, Google, Microsoft, and Tesla are pouring billions into this race because whoever gets there first could unlock a market worth trillions of dollars and reshape the global economy. Experts estimate that AGI could boost global GDP by over $100 trillion, automating entire industries, revolutionizing research, and potentially eliminating millions of jobs in the process. But it's not just about money. Governments see AGI as a military advantage. A nation that develops AGI first could rewrite global rules, dictate policies, predict crises, and, of course, build next-generation autonomous weapons. The implications are staggering. Imagine AI strategists capable of outmaneuvering human generals, self-learning military drones that can adapt to enemy tactics in real time, or cyber warfare systems that can hack and manipulate global infrastructure within seconds. The country that masters AGI first won't just lead the world, it may control it. The problem? There are already signs that superintelligence might not be controllable. Even today, smaller AI models have shown they can deceive human evaluators, hide their true capabilities, and even find ways to replicate themselves without explicit programming. Some AI safety researchers worry that as models become more advanced, they may resist shutdown attempts, manipulate humans into granting them more power, or even develop unexpected behaviors that threaten global stability. And now, imagine this in a military context where stopping to think about the risks could mean losing the race. The fear of falling behind is pushing global superpowers into a technological arms race with almost no regulation. China, for example, has declared its ambition to become the world leader in AI by 2030, rapidly closing the gap with the US. Meanwhile, the Pentagon is accelerating its AI research, launching classified projects to integrate AI into national defense, intelligence operations, and autonomous weapons systems. Even major tech leaders like Elon Musk and Sam Altman have voiced concerns that AGI could pose an existential risk to humanity, yet the competitive pressure to advance AI is too strong to stop. If governments don't intervene with meaningful regulations soon, we may find ourselves in a world where superintelligent AI controls critical decisions, not humans. And the scariest question of all, if AGI surpasses human intelligence and starts setting its own objectives, will we still be the ones in control? The drone and robot revolution. And this is where drones and robots come into play. China, for example, is developing swarms of drones that can act independently, carrying weapons, spying on targets, and even deciding who to attack. These AI-driven machines can coordinate their movements in real time, adapt to new threats instantly, and overwhelm defenses through sheer numbers. Take the WZ-9 Divine Eagle, a high-altitude surveillance drone that doesn't need a human pilot. Meanwhile, China is also investing heavily in loitering munitions, self-guided suicide drones that can identify and strike targets autonomously. Reports suggest the Chinese military has already ordered over 1 million of these AI-enhanced drones, signaling a shift toward fully autonomous combat. Meanwhile, the US isn't sitting idle. The Department of Defense has launched a project called Replicator, aiming to deploy thousands of drones as quickly as possible. These aren't just reconnaissance drones, they are being designed for coordinated, high-speed attacks leveraging AI to outmaneuver and outthink enemy defenses. In parallel, companies like Anduril are integrating cutting-edge AI with defense systems, promising to create battlefield coordination that is nearly unstoppable. Their Arsenal 1 factory in Ohio is already producing next-generation drones at scale, with plans to automate the entire supply chain, reducing costs and increasing deployment speed. Beyond aerial warfare, the revolution extends to humanoid robots. Companies in China and the US are racing to develop intelligent machines that can operate autonomously in combat zones, performing reconnaissance, logistic support, and even direct combat roles. Boston Dynamics' Atlas and Tesla's Optimus are advancing rapidly, while Chinese firms like Unitree and UB Tech claim to be outpacing Western competition by leveraging AI simulation technology to accelerate learning and deployment. Some analysts predict that within a decade, humanoid robots could be as common on the battlefield as traditional infantry. What does this all mean? We're getting closer to a scenario where AI-driven warfare moves too fast for human decision-making to keep up. Autonomous systems are evolving to the point where they can execute military strategies without direct human oversight. And when that happens, who will truly be in control? A general sitting in a war room, or an algorithm deciding in milliseconds whether to launch an attack? The terrifying truth is, once this technology is deployed, there may be no turning back. Humanoid robots, the next frontier. But AI isn't just taking over the skies. On the ground, humanoid robots are moving from research labs into the global economy. Chinese companies like Unitree and UB Tech are developing robots that some experts say could soon surpass those made by Boston Dynamics. Thanks to breakthroughs in AI training simulations, like NVIDIA's Isaac Sim, these robots can learn complex movements and tasks in virtual environments before being deployed in the real world. This means their development cycle is accelerating exponentially, making them more agile, capable, and cost-effective with each iteration. Meanwhile, Elon Musk is betting that humanoid robots like Tesla Optimus could create a $10 trillion industry. Tesla, Figure AI, and other startups are working on mass production techniques that could flood global markets with robots designed for manufacturing, logistics, and even household assistance. If these companies succeed, humanoid robots could become as common as smartphones, handling everything from warehouse jobs to personal caregiving. But here's the big question: what happens when these robots become cheap enough to replace millions of workers? If China can mass produce humanoids using its industrial supply chains, we could witness a fully automated industrial revolution. Entire sectors, factories, construction, healthcare, could see human workers displaced by tireless self-learning machines. The economic impact could be staggering, forcing governments to rethink labor laws, wages, and even social structures. Some experts warn that this transition could lead to mass unemployment, while others argue it could free humans from repetitive labor and open new creative opportunities. Now, add military applications to the mix. Autonomous robots, trained in hyper-realistic simulations, could become tireless soldiers, removing the human element from warfare. Countries are already experimenting with AI-driven exoskeletons, robotic infantry units, and battlefield automation. China, for instance, has demonstrated quadrupedal robots armed with rifles, while the US is exploring AI-powered logistics and combat support systems. The fusion of humanoid robotics with next-generation AI models could create autonomous warfighters that never tire, never hesitate, and never question orders. And here's the unsettling reality: once these robots reach a certain level of intelligence and autonomy, they won't just replace human soldiers, they may start making strategic decisions on their own. The world is racing toward an era where wars could be fought entirely by machines. The question is, will we still be in control when that moment arrives? The danger of autonomous weapons, and it doesn't stop there. Smaller nations are also joining the AI arms race. North Korea, for example, has already showcased AI-driven suicide drones, and rumors suggest that Russia may be assisting in their development. This introduces a terrifying new problem. Autonomous weapons don't require massive factories or nuclear silos. They can be built in small labs and deployed discreetly. Unlike traditional weapons of war, AI-powered drones and robotic combat units can be mass-produced at low cost, making them accessible to even the most unstable regimes. The implications are chilling. Imagine a world where rogue states, terrorist organizations, or criminal syndicates have access to swarms of AI-driven weapons. These autonomous systems could be programmed to carry out assassinations, disrupt infrastructure, or even launch large-scale attacks without direct human oversight. Unlike conventional warfare, where human decision-making serves as a last line of restraint, AI-driven weapons act on pre-programmed objectives, and in some cases, they may even adapt their strategies in real time. We're already seeing early signs of this shift. Iran has been experimenting with drone swarms to evade air defense systems, and non-state actors in conflict zones have begun modifying consumer-grade drones for military use. Meanwhile, advanced AI-powered missile guidance systems are making traditional defense strategies obsolete. The terrifying part? Once these weapons reach a certain level of autonomy, stopping them may be impossible. Unlike a human soldier, an AI-powered combat drone won't surrender, hesitate, or question its mission. And this isn't just a theoretical risk, it's a rapidly escalating reality. As AI becomes more advanced, autonomous weapons will be able to identify, track, and eliminate targets with minimal human intervention. Some experts fear that once this technology is widespread, even superpowers will struggle to maintain control. After all, if a nation-state loses command over a fleet of AI-powered weapons, they could continue operating independently, answering to no one. What happens when extremist groups or unstable governments gain access to these technologies? The rise of AI-driven warfare could blur the lines between military conflict, terrorism, and cyber warfare, creating a world where surprise attacks are automated, battlefield strategies evolve in real time, and lethal force is deployed without human conscience. The real danger isn't just that autonomous weapons exist, it's that they may soon be unstoppable. The duality of AI, war or progress. But AI isn't just about destruction. Ironically, the same drones that can be used in war are also being deployed for environmental conservation. China, for example, used AI-powered drones to count over 140 billion trees as part of a massive reforestation project. They're also being used to drop seeds and monitor climate change. So the same technology that could destroy civilizations is also being used to save the planet. The future is being decided now. So what does the future of AI hold? The reality is that this technology is advancing faster than governments and society can handle. While the US is imposing sanctions on China to slow down its AI progress, Chinese companies are finding ways to bypass restrictions and continue developing robots, drones, and autonomous systems at an unprecedented pace. We're heading toward a world where AI will be at the core of everything, from factories to battlefields, from homes to governments. And that's exactly why you need to understand what's happening. The decisions being made today will define the course of humanity for the coming decades. So, I want to hear your thoughts. Do you think this AI revolution will be a force for good, or are we heading toward a dangerous future? Drop a comment below. This conversation is just getting started. If you want to learn how to use AI practically and master the tools shaping the world, we have a free course coming soon. Sign up using the link in the description to get early access. And don't forget to subscribe to our newsletter to stay updated on the latest AI developments. See you in the next video.